Hello, and welcome to Money Mystery No More. Have you heard of the word FICO? Maybe? Well, have you heard about having a good credit score? Have you heard about retiring someday? Soon or later? Whatever your answer, this will excite you. Let's talk about a little bit of both and see if you don't end up saying, hey, FICO, meet the FIRE movement. Pay attention here and you will benefit through this video by learning some valuable information to help you build your wealth to retire early by keeping it simple. It's awesome. And remember, hit that subscribe button to keep getting the latest and greatest information. Okay, let's remove the mystery. Some say that everything you buy can impact your credit score. You hear it all the time. You gotta have a good credit score. Don't mess up your credit score. Pay your bills on time to keep your credit score up. Your credit card is gonna bomb your credit score. TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, FICO this, FICO that, and on and on and on. Well, we're going to talk about your credit score and more pointedly, your FICO, how to get rich and retire. You might also watch my video, Correcting Your Credit Score, in which you will get a deeper insight about credit overall. Broadly speaking, a credit score is a number showing the risk you pose to a lender. You know, someone or institution that may loan you money. Put another way, how likely are you, the borrower, going to repay a loan on time? Credit scores range from 300 to 850, with higher scores normally offering you a better shot at getting approved along with more competitive interest rates. A high number shows that you have been responsible when it comes to controlling your debt. A low number shows the opposite and thus risk to a lender. So low credit scores lead to rejections and high interest rates or high premiums. So a high score is good and a low number is not good. And your credit score usually comes from one of the two major credit scoring companies, FICO and VantageScore. They each have their own scoring method, and today we're talking about FICO. That's because FICO is the prominent player in the business. The FICO model is used by 90% of top lenders, and their consumer credit score is used by most financial institutions to figure out who should or should not be approved for a loan or credit. Over 40 years ago, the Fair Isaac Corporation, FICO, created the first credit risk score. That score is composed of financial details within a borrower's credit report, and it's used to calculate a projected credit risk score. In turn, companies often use that score when borrowers seek their services. The score helps them determine how much money to offer for a loan, including the attached interest rates, or what tier of insurance coverage to offer and at what cost, and even sometimes whether to qualify a candidate for a job based on the level of fiscal responsibility demonstrated. There are even different versions of the calculation methods used by FICO. You may find that your credit score on a potential loan is different by various lenders because each can use a different scoring company, a different scoring version, and even different criteria. For FICO alone, a company may use FICO scores 8, 9, or 10 suite. Each version may include alternate factors, weigh the factors differently, and even use nuanced data when doing their review on a consumer's data. Are you wondering how all this plays into your retirement? Well, would you like to retire early? Like, we're talking about retiring real early. We're talking about having financial independence in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, way before the traditional 65. Yes, say hello to the FIRE movement. Though not a new concept, FIRE has become more popular in the last several years. You can leverage the concepts involving a good FICO with FIRE to join like-minded folks cashing in on FIRE, also known as Financial Independence, Retire Early. The FIRE movement offers a lifestyle of financial independence through a serious focus on investing and controlled spending. Ultimately, one day, you have control over your time, money, and day-to-day lifestyle. Joe Dominguez and Vicki Robin introduced the idea in their 1992 book and bestseller called Your Money or Your Life. Basically, the concept is to accelerate or build your investment so big that you just live off of the returns. On its face, how awesome, right? It offers you options, including an opportunity to not work the traditional 9-to-5 job, but rather do something you truly love. As mentioned earlier, a serious focus on investing and controlled spending is the common approach. With FIRE, your income is directed heavily to investments, typically 50% or more, while your spending is severely managed. Spending is tied directly to improving your FICO, which will occur rapidly when managed properly. Investing heavily so young lets your money accelerate while leveraging time and compounding. Your portfolio can literally gain hundreds of thousands of dollars in a faster span of time versus the low and slow investing approach done by most people. Most invest a small amount of their paycheck each pay period over 20, 30, or even 40 years. FIRE participants turn this ideology on its head by mastering their spend habits, which usually results in an excellent FICO. Plus, their investing is fast and furious in a much shorter period of time to capture the opportunity much earlier in their lives. So, why not you? You might be wondering, what kind of money are we talking about to make this happen? Honestly, there are many experts that suggest half of your income will need to be saved if you even have a chance of successfully retiring that early and be able to sustain it. Drastic savings is also coupled with drastic reductions in expenses. You will look to place your money into tax advantage accounts, regular brokerage accounts, money market accounts, and even high-yield savings accounts. Plus, you will need to figure out your FIRE number to understand how much money is needed in your investment portfolio. There are two common concepts for calculating your FIRE number. First is the rule of 25, while the 4% rule is another. Okay, the rule of 25 is simple. Figure out your monthly expenses. Multiply that number by 12 to get your annual expenses. Then multiply that annual expense number by 25. The resulting figure is your FIRE number, the amount you need to retire. Yes, the rule is that easy. Get 25 times your annual expenses saved if you want to retire early. Assume your monthly costs are $5,000. That $5,000 times 12, the number of months in a year, equals $60,000 per year. Just multiply that by 25 and your FIRE number is $1.5 million. Next is the 4% rule. It is straightforward too. You must know the amount you want to live on each year, your annual retirement income. Then divide that by 0.04, which is the mathematical equivalent of 4%. The resulting figure is your FIRE number. Again, if you want to live on $60,000 per year, just divide it by 0.04, and your FIRE number is again 1.5 million. There are two small caveats to the 4% rule. Some experts feel it's fine to use 4% for the first year of retirement, but due to inflation, it may be best to review and adjust as needed annually thereafter. The second item is knowing the 4% rule assumes a 30-year run. This means you will need to increase your funds a lot or cut expenses adequately if you want to retire with more than 30 years of viable income. FIRE participants are also aware of a few contributing factors such as the savings rate, compound growth, and tax efficiency. Regarding the savings rate, you just need to clearly know the amount required to be saved so it's sufficient enough to meet your FIRE goals. This might mean saving 50% or more of your earnings if you have a high FIRE number. Of course, putting your money into an instrument that yields compound interest frequently is critical. Your balance will grow much faster and exponentially over the long haul with constant contributions and compound interest. Finally, taxes. Deal with it and be smart about taking advantage of tax rules, especially if you're on the FIRE path. When the day comes to take money out of your accounts, be aware of penalties for early withdrawals and tax implications. Normally, if you leave retirement funds alone until about age 59 and a half, you get the bonus of withdrawals being penalty-free. There may be a time gap between your intended FIRE retirement age and 59 and a half, perhaps many years, so you'll want to pull money from other non-retirement accounts and pay the taxes as you pull to avoid unnecessary steep fees or taxes. FICO ties into your FIRE goals because you'll want strong credit along the way and once ready to retire. Your FICO score is comprised of 5 main areas. First is payment history at about 35%, which seems to be the most important factor. Then 2, accounts owed at around 30%. And 3, length of credit history near 15%, followed by number 4 and 5, which are your credit mix and your new credit, each at about 10%. So with all that stuff, your immediate FICO goal should be a 720-ish, with a long-term goal of an exceptional 850 we discussed earlier. Surely, if you're not quite there now, you'll strengthen it naturally as you work towards your FIRE goals. Start using some trusted methods to improve and repair your credit score, such as make consistent on-time payments, or better yet, pay it off each month if able. Then, remember to request a credit increase periodically. Review your credit report for any errors, which you must dispute. And heck, get the best credit card, but not lots of them, because you really only want a couple that are matured in age with good standing. Once you're ready, figure out which of the popular FIRE methods you might pursue. First is the regular method, which lets you keep your current lifestyle during retirement. Depending on your current lifestyle, this may require a large portfolio. Second is the lean method. People aligned with the minimalist mindset do well with this because they are much more comfortable with the strict discipline required. Third is the fat FIRE approach, which lets you live a little in retirement. Living it up also means large savings and investments. Fourth is the barista method, more in line for folks that may still work but with some freedom due to a decent amount of compiled money. We're thinking part-time work, volunteering, etc. without the worry of finances. And finally, there is the coast FIRE approach, which allows someone to work until their retirement age without any financial worries once retired. This seems to be what most people have in mind initially with retirement plans. All of the FIRE methods make sense, and each may be used to some degree at different stages in life. Literally, you can start by focusing on your immediate FICO to start making your FIRE goals a reality. As mentioned, this channel, Money Mystery No More, does present a lot of subject matter for your financial literacy about cash flow, wealth, retirement, debt management, credit, investing, and more. In fact, check out the video, Fired Up Budgeting for Beginners, for a focus specifically on useful tactics to make the FIRE movement easier for you. Realize that FIRE is obtainable for you. Start planning early, now, and you can achieve your financial goals. Be patient and know that delayed gratification and discipline are required. Realize that you will need to reduce and control your expenses and likely increase your income for heavy investing and savings. Be flexible. Learn what your FIRE number is so you chart the path realistically and determine the best FIRE method to use or variant of them. Remember, depending on your age, figure out if you should exceed the original FIRE number to factor periodic market downturns and even long-term health care. You should be fired up. This episode looks for you to strengthen your FICO in order to get a better financial position. That in turn can lead you to a successful path with the FIRE movement. You too can be amongst those that boost their FICO and achieve FIRE, financial independence, retire early, by keeping it simple. Remember, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you keep getting the latest and greatest information from Money Mystery No More. I'll see you in the next video.